The man who wins the war is the man who loves walking. Right now, it's 12:21 p.m. It's a little past midnight on Friday morning. What is this, March 14th or March 13th? I don't even know. But I'm going to Oklahoma City tomorrow. I don't have time to film a YouTube video, so I'm getting it done now. One of the things that I always talk about is being violently consistent. And many times, being violently consistent consists of working extremely hard, regardless how you feel, and still bringing the energy and the rage and the passion towards what you're doing and towards your outputs. But let's talk about why the man that loves walking wins the war. So what you see in modern media and just social media and in general is that you see so many successful founders, like they launch a product and they become a millionaire like the next month. They start a company and all of a sudden their company goes public within like a year. It's crazy. And it's so skewed because we don't see the business owners that have been grinding for 10 years that finally hit their big break, or the person that's been sleeping on their couch for, the last 8 years at their parents' house and they finally hit a break. We don't see that. But what we do see, and what the media makes it look like, is that there's overnight success in every single story. And it encourages you to start a business. And then when you don't have an overnight success, when you don't make $1 million in the first month of business, you get discouraged and you think something's wrong. I struggle with that too. I've struggled with that my whole entire business career. But what I have realized is that instead of checking the scoreboard, instead of, seeing the overnight success and comparing myself to that, I ask myself one simple question. Was I better than I was yesterday? And the long and short answer, or whatever kind of answer you want me to answer it in, was yes. I was. And every single day I show up and I do one thing to make myself better than yesterday. And when you compete with yesterday's man, yesterday's version of yourself, that's the only scoreboard that you need to look at. Another example is I ran 7 miles at the fastest pace I've ever run in my entire life this last weekend. And it was crazy. It was the first time I never checked my watch at all to check my time. Usually like every mile I'm checking my time to see what my pace is. And I just told myself every single step, just run a little bit faster. And I've got finished with the 7 miles and I looked at my pace and it was absolutely incredible. It was a 7:02 for 7 miles. It was the fastest pace I've ever ran in my life, right? And then I realized it's the same thing with life. Instead of just looking around, checking the scoreboard, checking tabs, being a freaking pocket watcher on people, pocket watch yourself. Look at check tabs on yesterday's self and ask yourself, was I better today than I was yesterday? And if the answer is yes, then keep doing it. If the answer is no, get your stuff in line. Because when you check everywhere else and you're so obsessed with everyone else's success, you're staying here and everyone else is running past you. But let's go to the walking part. Why does the man who walks win the race at the end? And the best example I can give is that you'll see a lot of people, they get hot off the start, right? We talked about the overnight success just a minute ago. But what I realized was like they may get a foot when they start, and you might gain an inch, and then the next leap they have they have a half an inch, so 5 inches, and you get 2 inches, and then all of a sudden your work compounds. The next run you're gaining 4 inches and they're gaining 3, and then all of a sudden you catch up to them by year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever that is, right? And so it's not always great to have a hot start because hot starts usually go out really quickly. A slow burn is what you want. You're just getting better every single day. So what does this have to do with walking? Well, you could walk forever. You can't run. You can't sprint forever. Although I love the word sprint, although I love the word run, I love running, I also know that the man who loves walking is the man who wins the game.